Chronicles of a Hot Mess, Episode 1. The day started like most of my days, chaotically. My alarm clock didn't go off, again, because I'd spilled coffee on it 2 mornings ago and hadn't replaced it. I woke up to the sound of my upstairs neighbor yelling at his dog, which wasn't unusual, except this time, the dog barked back. I glanced at my phone. 8:47 a.m. I had exactly 13 minutes to get ready, get to work, and somehow explain why I was late for the third time this week. I stumbled out of bed, stepped directly onto a half-eaten granola bar from last night, don't ask, and stubbed my toe on my dresser for good measure. The getting ready part wasn't much better. My only clean shirt had a coffee stain that looked suspiciously like a Rorschach test, and my emergency mascara was clumpy and dry because I forgot to put the cap back on. I attempted to salvage my hair with a flat iron, only to accidentally burn my forehead, leaving me with a red mark that made me look like I'd been anointed by a medieval priest. By 9:15, I was sprinting out the door with my shoes half-tied, an empty wallet, and no idea where my car keys were. That's when I remembered I hadn't parked my car. I'd Ubered home last night after my quick drink with friends turned into karaoke and tacos at 2 a.m. I ran back inside, grabbed my bike. Yes, I still own a bike in a city where people treat cyclists like moving targets, and pedaled furiously toward the office. Halfway there, the chain popped off, leaving me stranded on a sidewalk next to an overly enthusiastic street performer playing Wonderwall on the ukulele. By the time I arrived at work, it was 10:07 a.m., and I was sweaty, disheveled, and deeply regretting my decision to bike through traffic. My boss, Mr. Patterson, gave me that look. You know, the one that says, "I've already written your termination letter in my head." I spent the next hour pretending to work while trying to clean the coffee stain on my shirt with a Tide pen I found in the break room. Unfortunately, the pen was dry, and all I managed to do was spread the stain into an amorphous blob that now resembled a map of Australia. Around noon, I decided to treat myself to lunch from the food truck across the street. I ordered a burrito, because burritos are the one thing in my life that never disappoint me. Or so I thought. As I unwrapped my burrito back at my desk, the bottom gave out, spilling rice, beans, and guacamole all over my keyboard. In my panic to clean it up, I knocked over my water bottle, which soaked my mouse pad, and created a tiny lake in my desk drawer. That was the moment I realized my day wasn't just bad, it was cursed. The rest of the afternoon was a blur of awkward encounters. I accidentally sent an email meant for my friend to the entire company, which included a less than flattering nickname for Mr. Patterson. I tripped over my own feet in the hallway and spilled someone's iced coffee, and then, because why not, I locked myself in the bathroom when the door handle jammed. By 5 p.m., I was a walking disaster, with a guacamole-stained shirt, a bruised ego, and an overwhelming urge to crawl into bed and pretend the day never happened. But life wasn't done with me yet. As I rode the elevator down, it lurched to a stop between floors, leaving me trapped with none other than the office's resident heartthrob, Ethan. He smiled at me in that charming way of his, but all I could think about was how I smelled like burrito and regret. "So," he said, leaning casually against the wall, "rough day?" "You have no idea," I replied, just as the elevator jolted back to life, throwing me into his arms like a clumsy rom-com heroine. By the time I got home that night, I was too exhausted to care about the pile of laundry I hadn't folded, or the fact that my fridge only contained a bottle of ketchup and a questionable slice of cheese. I collapsed onto the couch, sighed deeply, and laughed. Because honestly, what else could I do? Sometimes being a hot mess isn't a choice, it's a lifestyle.